Next tonight, a Paul Salmon report on the true magnitude of unemployment in the U.S. We heard earlier about the traditional familiar jobless numbers, but there are other numbers suggesting the problem may be even worse. It's part of Paul's ongoing series on making sense of financial news.
In Chicago, Ebony Allen, on her way to a job interview on the south side of town. A tough trek in an economy with official unemployment at 9.5%, especially since, as this story will show, many think the real number is a lot higher than that. How many interviews like this do you get, say, in a month?
One, and I need to pray for that one if I get that one.
Downtown, job expert John Challenger says the numbers are far worse than you hear.
The underemployment rate, which includes those people who are in part-time jobs but would prefer a full-time job, and those people who aren't counted as unemployed but they've been out of work and been looking in the last year but not in the last month, pushes the rate way up.
Here are the new numbers from the Labor Department's monthly survey of 60,000 households. The official number is what the government reports as U3, 14.7 million unemployed as of June. That's 9.5%. U4 adds discouraged workers who've stopped looking. That would make unemployment 10%. U5, marginally attached workers who say they'd take a job but haven't looked in a month. The number would then be up to 10.8%. The most inclusive number, U6, adds part-timers looking for full-time work, bringing the total to 16.5%.
Okay.
Ebony Allen hasn't worked at all in 2 years. No wonder Margot Strotter's first impression matters.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm a diligent person, very punctual. I have good people skills.
It's tough enough for women in this jobless market. With construction and manufacturing so hard hit, though, it's tougher still for men.
My name is John Leone. I'm a lean manufacturing engineer. I've been looking for work since September of 2008.
My name is John Kessberger. I was laid off in October of 2008. I'm a senior engineer in manufacturing.
A networking group for out-of-work executives in Bolingbrook, a Chicago suburb.
I'm Chris DeMeo. I have been out of work since December of 2008, and I'm a senior financial executive.
My name is John Freck. I'm a senior audit executive from the banking industry. I've been in transition since January of this year.
My name is Barak Tolapa. I'm an IT infrastructure professional, and I have been looking since January of this year.
My name is Barbara Tomczak. I'm a human resource leader. I've been in transition since February 2008.
I'm John Lapata. I'm an inventor with 38 United States patents. I've been out of work since January of 2008.
I'm Peter Sturdivant. I work in heavy civil construction. I've been looking for a new position for a year.
Every U category was represented here, including discouraged workers, if you count the one member of the group too discouraged to show up and take his seat next to Peter Sturdivant.
He just seems he's at a dead end. He's been looking for a long time. He's discouraged. We had talked about this, especially at the last meeting, when we felt that it wasn't just the normal roller coaster cycle at the bottom, but it might have been the beginning of a spiral.
And then you stop looking for work entirely. You're a discouraged worker, and you're not in the labor force at all, and then you're not part of the unemployment number.
That's correct.
John Lopata and John Freck, meanwhile, are part of the biggest undercounted group, involuntary part-timers.
I worked with the U.S. Census from March until May, and I typically averaged about 30 to 35 hours a week in that period of time.
Were you looking for full-time work at that point?
I was still looking for full-time work.
And what about you, John?
I was able to secure an adjunct teaching professor opportunity. I'm averaging about 15 hours a week with that assignment and looking for full-time work at the same time.
Though they consider themselves unemployed, neither man is in the official tally, but only in the rarely mentioned U6, a category they share with millions of itinerant workers and so-called consultants like Barbara Tomczak, who's freelanced since losing her job a year and a half ago.
I'm an independent contract worker.
So as much as half this group isn't counted as unemployed. if you include the discouraged guy who failed to show. No wonder they think the unemployment rate is higher than reported.
And who here thinks it's higher than 12%, 15%, 20%? How many people think it's 20%?
And 20% may not be far-fetched, it turns out.